Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hell I Don't Know. We are being consistent, fellas.
Consistency
You
is
shouldn't say
key.
you should not say that like that's an anomaly. That makes us look really bad.
I mean, the past 4 months has been shaky.
Well, we're
Anyway,
not gonna
I'm
deny.
Nickie. They can introduce themselves.
I'm
I'm Darrell.
Jordan. We said at the same time. I'm Jordan.
Oop. I'm terrible. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day. So, what's up with you guys? What's new? What's happening in your lives?
Mm.
Well, what's new in my life is that I'm not gonna say why, but I found out Jordan and I are not actually friends.
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
wow.
Shots
I'm
fired.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Shots
I'm
have been
kidding.
fired.
Um, No. Honestly, not too much is new in my life. Working. That's I hate to say that's it, but honestly, it's just a blessing. Um, yeah, that's it. Just tired all the damn time. It's cold in New York City. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. If you thought you saw me out, you did it because I wasn't there. I was in my house. So I've been watching TV and literally work out, get up, work out, work all day, bitch about it, watch TV, go to sleep in that order every day for the past 3 weeks. So that's been my days.
Love
Hmm.
that.
Um, I can go, George. You can go. It doesn't matter.
Um, you know, I'll just say I have had a life changing moment happen. So we're going to pivot that though through some kind of experience. And I'll have further updates on that later. Just know that I'm going through a transitional phase in my life.
Yeah. So I finally got a job offer. So I will be working soon. And
Woo.
that's all I'm gonna say on that. Because it is a complicated and complex situation over here. As if you know me, you know that's my life. But yeah. So today we're going to kind of throw around a couple of different topics. Because I felt like we could have some interesting conversation around some things that we've been seeing on the interweb lately. Just for starters, though, what were our thoughts on the Super Bowl and the halftime performance? And let's just start there. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I thought, honestly, I thought this actual game was kind of boring a little bit, but just because it was like not really like super exciting because honestly, like they were just whooping their ass the whole time. So it's kind of like, all right, well, this isn't the most exciting game to watch. But yay to Jalen Hurts winning, yay to Black, you know, all that Black History Month, another win for us. So love that.
Even though Patrick Mahomes is black, people
But
forget
his
that.
wife is
Yeah, that's
racist,
true.
so we don't care. So
Exactly, exactly. So we don't acknowledge that, but yeah, and then um, con- unlike everyone else, or like a lot of other people, I actually really enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's performance. I know a lot of people have had like a lot of said words about how it was boring and it wasn't exciting or blah 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 blah. And I just totally disagree. I thought it was an amazing performance. So many cool things were in there. Actually, the more you watch it, I feel like the more you like pick up on other stuff that you didn't catch the first time. So I honestly think it was. I think it went over some people's heads, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. What about you, Daryl?
I actually really enjoyed the game. mainly because mainly because the Chiefs lost and we're losing so bad. Here's the thing: I don't have anything personally against the Chiefs, but most of the outwardly racist people that we see in society these days are supporters of the Kansas City Chiefs. And so while they're probably decent people, with the exception of Harrison Booker, whatever you say his last name, um, like glad they lost. Um, and yeah, and plus Eagles just whatever, so much better. Um, I you know the halftime show is just like it presents an interesting dynamic of person because it's just like I think I don't think everybody that thinks should speak on what they're thinking, because I don't think that everyone that thinks has an opinion that's worthy of being um, distributed amongst others. Um, I think I saw a lot of people from my state. I'm from North Carolina originally. For those that don't know, I saw a lot of older white people that had an issue with Kendrick Lamar, and you know what? I'm specifically going to read some of these comments, because I don't know if this person follows me or not, but I hope she does. Um, Older
Are
white
you about to
woman.
choose violence?
I am absolutely choosing violence.
Great.
Exciting. Exciting.
Older white
Exciting.
woman from where I'm from.
Because Darrell don't be choosing. Well, while Darrell pulls that up, I'll speak because he's gonna take him a minute. I actually enjoyed the game because I really enjoyed the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs lost drastically. I am King Petty, and I love the opportunity to be petty, and that just felt like a very petty game. Like we're going to run you through the dust, and that made my soul excited. Um, in other words, I also thought Kendrick's performance was phenomenal. I thought just all of the elements that he packed into that performance, I thought was spectacular. I really enjoyed the symbolism and the messages of that halftime performance. And I think he did a great job. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into some of that in a little bit. But Darrell, go ahead and read your white woman's issue.
Sure, this is somebody. Yeah, sure, I'll read it. This is somebody that I go in and out with how I feel about her these days. Because on one level, she seems to be a level-headed, nice, kind individual. On the other level, she voted for Trump, which I'm positive about. And yeah, and it's weird. Anyway, she said, "Woo, thank goodness for the mute option." During the Super Bowl, so I knew exactly who she was. I knew what she was talking about, and I'm gonna read the comments. And before you ask, they all are. And they said, "Amen." I hope you're referring to halftime. If so, I agree. Amen to that, sister. Amen, sister. Don't watch it. It was awesome. Wait, she's white. She said it was awesome. Go ahead. Okay, we live. Oh, I didn't even see this one. So this other woman that I like, go off of her. She's definitely an ally. She was like, best halftime show in a long time. You missed it if you muted it. And this woman says, I missed nothing. And then I'm gonna skip to the end. This guy was like, gave us time, gave us gave us time to have a timeout and clean the kitchen before the second half. Jeez, spelled Gees. That was bad beyond words. How you fuck up how you fuck up slang? Like anyway, last one. What was his talent? I completely missed it. Some person replies and goes, I watched it all and I still can't answer your question. Well, let me ask you, could you do what Kendrick Lamar did? Do you have a Pulitzer? Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Here's my thing. I did that because one, quite literally, Kendrick Lamar is not really for you. And even if he was for you, like you could see Kendrick Lamar getting on stage and performing. And as an older white person who is conservative and lives in a certain part of the United States and has certain friends that look a certain color and vote a certain way, you know good and damn well that performance is not something that you are going to be into. So why do you need to flock to Facebook to let everyone know what you think, if not, but to get other people to agree with you and disparage a black person who has done a lot for society and a lot for our culture, to disparage him and make him feel smaller? That's the only reason, not him specifically, but to put that thought out there, because at the end of the day, if George Strait was performing, do y'all even know who that is?
No.
George Strait is a country singer. If he was performing on a halftime show, I would instantly know, okay, this ain't for me. I'm not going to like it because I don't like his type of music. Do you think I'd go to the internet and then be like, worst halftime performance I've ever seen? No,
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. One, because I'm not a fucking moron. But two, because why? Why? Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soap. It's not a soapbox.
It's a
I'm gonna
soapbox.
chill out now. Well, it is what it is. Fuck them. Go ahead.
Well, here's my thing about this, and this is kind of one of the things I want us to talk about, especially during Black History Month, right? Because I would argue and say this has been a pretty decent Black History Month for Black
Let's
people.
knock on wood, because it's still
Just
time
did
to
that.
fuck it up.
I just did that, but like I feel like usually Black History Month comes in and be like, "Ooh, this ain't a good one," but like, so, but like this one, it's been okay. And I think I actually saw this from um, a white creator on TikTok, and she was actually speaking about. So just here's some context. So there was a lot of discord on the internet about Beyonce winning album of the year. We know that, right? And this white creator was saying, who is a Beyonce stan, and there have been these white people who have been on social media saying, I didn't even listen to Cowboy Carter. How did it win? And then they are starting to quote unquote listen to Cowboy Carter. And one particular creator was choosing to do one Cowboy Carter song per day and listen to the entire song in a TikTok video per day. And some people may say, oh, at least she's given it a fair shot. But when you think about the underbelly of that situation, she's doing it for content and for fun and for funds, because every video over a minute long, because she's in the TikTok creator program, so every video over a minute long, she gets paid for it. And all the Beehive are flocking to these creators and giving their comments and saying, so happy to listen to it, when she's actually not really being genuine. And this white creator actually said, we have to be careful with things like this, because what we're starting to do is center a white woman's opinion about Black art. And I started to think about, even when it came to the Super Bowl, reading comments from white people say I didn't get it, or trying to explain it to them. I was like, why are we doing that as a society when they don't center us in their opinions about white art? So why are we like, because I found myself doing that, thinking about, I cared a lot what white individuals were saying when they were doing Grammy predictions, because I was like, are they going to give us a fair shot? When honestly, we shouldn't even care. Like, how do y'all feel about that, knowing that like we have gotten to this point where we're kind of centering white art?
Well, you know what's so interesting about you saying this? So I've actually started like recently watching a lot of like first time listens on like albums and different songs and stuff like that. I don't know. I just find it to be interesting sometimes. But with that, I found it to be interesting because I've been seeing this like Black content creator. He's like a younger kid or whatever. But all the stuff that he reviews is like Taylor Swift, Lord, Olivia Rodrigo, like all pretty much like all white artists. So the funny part is he just had a video come out yesterday, and it was like it said, I tried to give Cowboy Carter a chance. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and it made me click on it because it was interesting, because all his other videos are like the length of the albums that he listened to. Mind you, he's even listened to Torture Poets Department. It's like a 2-part video. Now, Cowboy Carter's was 7 minutes. So then I was like, so it made me click on it because I said, why is this only 7 minutes compared to all your other ones are full albums? So he only listened to Spaghetti. And then he said, well, I see why everyone is upset about this winning album of the year. This isn't even a country song, and nor does this represent a country album, so this shouldn't have won album of the year. And I was just like, but I was like, so you reviewed all of their music in full, but you gave Beyonce one song, and you said, now I agree with all this. And it made me go, okay, so this is all for dollars. This is money. Mm-hmm. And this is what it's all connected to. So in that, I'm saying all this to say, like, to me, I see it because I'm like, it's crazy because now that's where it's gotten to now. People are not even like truly even like listening to this for like the experience of anything, because even too, with you saying that about her, she's doing herself a disservice anyway by listening to a song a day, because you need to experience that as an entire body of work to fully get it anyway. So her listening to, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, but I don't think she cares.
That's think what I'm saying. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And that's the thing same thing with this. It's like, I realized, I was like, you can't possibly be caring or doing this for the love of or anything of the music, because how are you giving this Black woman 7 minutes, but you gave all these white people like an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time to listen to, and not even giving this person a fair chance? Just very interesting. I don't know. I just had to bring that up because I thought it was like interesting how that I saw that. But go ahead, Darrell.
I mean, I really feel like I feel like I'm gonna be like Beyonce because I agree. I don't give a fuck what white people think about. Like I expect it to the point. Like I actually expect the louder that you speak about black art, the louder that I feel like you are trying to prove the point that you are superior. I feel like it's like we do not every single year. I mean, granted, we do sometimes, like when other artists win Artists of the Year. Da, 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 we do say things. We do always make comments about how this person should have, this person should, da, 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 da. But I think that a lot of the reason that people are upset and that they care about what white people think is because a lot of it is rooted in racism. A lot of it is rooted in prejudice and like what you think someone should have access to. And I think that the fact that a black woman is able to cause all of this conversation um, is because she decided to do a country album and somebody recognized it as something. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
fucking matter what any of us think. She won album of the year because the voting committee voted her to win out. It doesn't matter if you think she bought it. It doesn't matter if you think it was a legacy. It doesn't matter if you don't think it was country. They thought it was. It doesn't matter if you think it's good. They thought it was. It doesn't fucking matter. And I think that in general, I feel like the internet has become a place where we validate everyone's line of thought. And I think the only way to move past that is to stop validating this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to, you have never seen me, like, neither of you have ever seen me go back and forth with somebody about my opinion on the internet. I'm not going to comment on somebody's thing and be like, if I know you, I'll call you. And if I don't know you, I don't give a fuck what you think. So, like, I'm not going to do that. But in general, I think that, like, I'm speaking specifically as black people now. Beyonce didn't give a fuck if these white people accepted her into this genre or not. In fact, she did it because they tried not to.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't give a fuck about what they would think about her music. She didn't give a fuck. She just did it because she wanted to. I think that's a mindset that we should be carrying into society and into these next couple of years. We cannot continue to care about these people and their opinions. We know their opinions. We can almost guess to a T how you didn't have to. If I had not even seen the Super Bowl, I could probably still have this exact same conversation with you because I would know that the majority of older white Americans probably wouldn't even like it. And honestly, we're saying white people, but some black people didn't like it either.
We're gonna get there because I have some thoughts about that
Yeah,
too.
but but that is rooted. We'll get to that. But the reason why it affects us more when you're coming from older white people is because it's really hard to assume, based on how they responded to it, that it's not rooted in some sort of racism or prejudice, and that's why it bothers us. It doesn't bother us because it was simply their opinion, because it wasn't simply their opinion. It's their opinion rooted in something that oppresses us directly. So I get why people feel a way about it, but let's just stop caring. Fuck them. Fuck every single one of them. That's it.
Okay, and he's not saying F white people. He's saying F the opinions that are disparaging to black art.
Of
Is that
course.
correct?
I mean, I am. What I'm specifically saying is honestly not even just white people. Fuck anyone that tries to invalidate any type of art. Like it
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. Fuck. I mean, honestly, fuck your opinion. Who cares?
Speaking of opinions, man, we'll be giving our opinion here next month on another artist on the journey, but that's different, story for a different day. However, I will also say to my black people who said that Kendrick's performance was not good and that you didn't understand it, I would like for you to challenge you to make sure that you are not becoming like the Samuel L. Jackson character in Kendrick's performance, who was essentially a replica of Uncle Tom as Uncle Sam. Go ahead, Darrell. Want to
Um.
you didn't
Well,
think that's what he was playing?
no, of course that's what he was
Oh.
playing, but I vehemently disagree with that line of thought because I don't think that just because you're black you had to have enjoyed
No,
Kendrick
no, no, no,
Lamar.
no. I'm saying the people who are using the black people who are using the excuse like the white individuals saying that about Kendrick's performance.
I haven't personally seen any black people say that.
I've seen black people say it.
What specifically?
There was this black man, of course he said it. Who the black man who went to the RNC, and you know who I'm talking about? The gay black man who went to the RNC at that, who was disparaged. Anyway, he said things like that, and I was like, black people, are we also being Uncle Toms? And I seen not just him, but I seen other people say it as well on the internet. But like, I think there is a really interesting conversation to be had around how we as people don't necessarily give things a chance. And I will also own up and say I'm somebody who don't give a lot of things a chance, but I'm trying to do better. And I think if we all can start to recognize that that's where everyone would be trying to go, we'll all be much happier, especially where we are in the world right now.
Uh,
Yeah, but like, go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, but like also, I hear your point, and if you're coming from a place of buffoonery, then yeah, sure, that's problematic. But also, you could probably telegraph the type of black person that would have that type of response anyway. Like, you're not surprised that that man had that type of response because he's already shown who he is. I'm saying specifically for people. I saw a bunch of people of color that were just like Kendrick. Just saying it. They love Kendrick Lamar. They just didn't like the performance. They thought like maybe. I actually don't know what the fuck they wanted. I actually don't know what extra
Or what
they
they were
That's
wanted.
what
expecting.
I was gonna. So I was gonna speak a little bit about what people were expecting, what certain black people have been like wanting. A large percentage has been they wanted like the greatest hits. Like they wanted less of his like GNX album and more of like this people were like, I wanted to hear All Right, and I wanted to hear Backseat Freestyle and Poetic Justice, like his like I guess bigger, more mainstream songs. The problem with that is one, I think people forgot that he actually has already performed at the Super Bowl before with Dr. Dre, and he did those songs already, so he wasn't going to do those. That's one. Two, he doesn't need to do a greatest hits show. That's not what Kendrick Lamar is. And I think what this experience has really shown me, like how much people really don't know Kendrick Lamar as an artist and kind of like what he kind of brings to the table. Because I never in my mind thought when they said Kendrick Lamar performed the Super Bowl that he was just going to do a whole bunch of happy, great hits performances and a whole bunch of
Right.
girls just dancing and twerking on the stage. Like that's not Kendrick Lamar. That's not his thing.
Yeah.
And I realized I said a lot of people were also split of being salty about Lil Wayne not performing because it was New Orleans and they feel like Lil Wayne should have been the performer. And then the other split. So there was like three sections of that, and then the other one was the Drake fans that were obviously upset because they felt like, okay, you're running this into the ground now. Why do you need to perform this at the Super Bowl? This just feels like an excessive amount of, hate towards a person when we should end this already and this should be done. And I'm like, but I said, you guys wouldn't feel that way if Drake was on the other end of things. And then you guys be like, yeah, keep it going, keep it going. So like you said, Darrell, the goalpost always moves for certain people. And I've just seen a lot of that happen a lot with this whole situation.
Yeah, I thought his performance was fun. SZA Mike was definitely not on,
Stop
but she performed well.
I mean, but also you got to think about the fact that like the only validation I'm going to give to Jordan's line of thought that people have that Jordan was talking about is that yes, I guess technically the Super Bowl halftime show exists to entertain us. So if you weren't entertained, I guess that could be a valid critique of his performance. But if you thought, like Jordan said, that he was about to get up there, like I'm actually just fucking curious what people thought he was gonna do. Like he did almost exactly what I thought he was gonna do, to be honest. Like Kendrick Lamar is a political and incredibly prolific rapper. He is not interested in just putting out a hit. In fact, Not Like Us wasn't even meant to be a hit. So like
It
it's
wasn't.
not and you can argue to the cows come home about how like it shouldn't all be about Drake, but it literally wasn't. It was one song that he had to perform because one, it's his most popular song right now. Two, he just won 2 Grammys for it, and three, it would not make
5
sense for him not
Grammys.
to do 5 Grammys for it, and it would make no sense for him not to perform that. Plus, it's also just like a fucking dope ass song. And also, be petty, shoot back at Drake. He started the whole shit. So like, ultimately, I'm just like, one, just grow up. Just like grow up. Like it's like if you were upset about it that night, it's fine to be upset about it. But to continue like being upset about
It's
it, just
people
kind
are
of like
still talking about it.
yeah, like
Still
oh my god,
talking
that
about it.
video. Did you see that video I sent y'all of that white guy that like I think that was for real.
Yeah.
There was a white guy
No, he was
that was
no, that was
really
he was super serious. And I'm telling you, there's a lot
he
of people
was
like
like
that too.
shaking and crying like leave Drake alone, it's over now. I'm like wow, you motherfuckers, is it a cult, is there
It,
voodoo that somebody's doing on
a
somebody?
little bit. But I've also
That's
seen
wild.
I've seen a lot of the same stuff too, and I've seen a lot of hate towards SZA as well for, lip syncing and stuff like that. Listen, as everybody knows, I love SZA, knows I love her to down, knows that's one of my all-time favorite artists. But even myself knew that woman was not going to have that mic on. That woman has way too much anxiety, too much fear, too much. She overthinks everything. There was no way even though she probably would have been perfectly fine because she sings. To be clear, everyone that does have stuff to say, all of her concerts, she always sings live. Her mic is always on, regardless if the vocal is not there or not. It is still on. I'm sure she decided to do that because she didn't want to mess up Kendrick's show. It was less about her and more about him, because I know that girl enough to know that's what it was about. So let it go. The performance wasn't about her. It is what it is.
Yeah, she did. I love the little dip thing she did at the very end. Like, I thought it was
also
great.
So shut the fuck up. Everybody lip sync. Shut the fuck up. Everybody does that. Literally everybody. I love Beyonce. She don't typically do it, but she has lip synced before. Like, you're not doing that. You're not standing in front of billions of people and being recorded for everyone to have an opinion about. Shut the fuck up and just enjoy the shit. Damn.
Speaking of that country cowgirl, she has also been in the headlines this week, but for not great reasons, because we have all entered the Hunger Games trying to secure tickets for this concert.
Oh, yes. A lot of people are upset.
That Beehive pre-sale.
I want to know who the fuck buying these tickets, because y'all said it was a bad album. So, buying these tickets? Okay,
my first thought was, when all of this was happening, I said, I thought everybody didn't like this album. Why is everyone so pressed now? And I distinctly remember so many people saying, oh, she doesn't have to worry about me on this tour. I'll just wait for Act 3 and stuff like that.
Nickie said that. Nickie said that. I'm not gonna
let's be clear. Let's be clear. Never have I said I didn't enjoy the album though. I just said
you specifically said multiple times.
Let me tell you, I own it. I will own it. I will own it. I will own it. I enjoy.
You better stand on business.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on it, because when I first initially watched the Beyonce Bowl, I didn't enjoy it. I was like, what is this? And I was like, I don't think this translates well. However, again, I wanted to make sure that like I wasn't tripping. So I rewatched the Beyonce Bowl a few times, and I realized once I start at Yaya and go through, oh, I'm sold. I don't like the beginning of it, and I thought that performance was disjointed initially because of all the slow songs. I'm also not a big fan of Blackbird on the album. I thought it was good. I'm also 16 Characters. I'm not playing all the time. Like that was my thing, right? But yeah, I want to go to the concert, and I just have to say, I don't think people realize how hard it was. I was number 73,000 and something in a queue just to see tickets. 73,000. There are some people in Atlanta that were 88,000 in the queue.
There were some people in the 100,000s in the queue.
At that point, how many people fit in the stadium?
The stadium fits 50-some thousand people. Like,
that's all right.
What did Beyonce think about doing this?
Half of y'all getting she is having a great time sipping her fucking Sir Davis right now, enjoying her life. That's what she's doing right now.
To be fair, I mean, Renaissance was. I'm not surprised that it's a short tour. Renaissance was a very long tour, in my opinion, for a 3-year-old woman with 3 kids. That's a long tour. And it was like, what, a year ago? It was like 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago?
2023, yeah.
And then she released the whole album after that, even though she didn't do shit with it. But like, I am not surprised it's a short tour, and that I think is driving demand because, like,
well, she didn't added 5 shows. She added another New York day today.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, and she was gonna keep adding shows. But I also thought about, Beyonce's petty. She has her ears to the streets, and she probably said, "Well, y'all didn't really like this album anyway, so I'm not gonna do a full roundabout tour."
Right. And she would be right. Because half of y'all, Nickie, said y'all were not going to go see this tour.
Stop calling me out, Negro. I already owned it. My mind has changed.
You do. I'm just gonna keep.
Well, clearly you are one of so many other people that minds have been changed.
Right.
So.
And again, it was for me after I watched the Beyonce Bowl a few times, starting at Yaya, that I was hooked. But beforehand, I also still don't like Texas Hold'em.
Love that song. Well, I will say that fortunately, two of the three of us were able to secure tickets to Beyonce, and I look at that as honestly, I look at that as karma because neither Jordan nor I were confused about whether or not we wanted to go see the concert. So, as far as I know, I'm just saying.
Wow, you think someone is your friend, and then they do stuff like this on the internet for everyone to see.
But the thing is, here's the thing. Okay, so we were talking about this before we started filming. We're going. Everyone who, well, I don't want to go see. I ain't gonna say everybody, but if you want to go see Beyonce and you got the money, it ain't got to be extravagant money. But if you got the money, you're likely going to be able to see her. We like this pre-sale situation was the same exact thing last year. I mean, actually, it's a little more crazy this year, but it was this. I remember having this conversation last year, and or the last time. And honestly, I went to go see Beyonce. I went to go see the Renaissance tour twice. Like I told them, I got a ticket to go see it in New York in a very good seat for not that much money a month before the show, and there were plenty of tickets available. This is just a price gouging thing where they know people are going to be looking for them. So
Ticketmaster count your days.
oh, not threatening a whole institution.
I second that.
I'm saying they're going to crumble because what they're doing is insane. Why are tickets originally going?
Ticketmaster though? Is that
Yes.
Ticketmaster?
Yes.
It's Ticketmaster.
I just didn't know.
Because like, why is a seat the same seat $480 and then 20 minutes later it's 2,700? And they're not even labeling them as official platinum anymore. They're just increasing the prices. And once you're putting things in your basket, they're gone immediately. And then the ticket pops up again now for $2,000.
Yep.
The same exact ticket.
That happened to Jeremy. He did that 3 times, and it was like, oh, it's gone, and then the ticket was just more expensive. And I was just like, I mean, but honestly, isn't that like an American thing? Like America price gouges everything once they see there's a demand for it.
Hey, Trump, didn't you say you was fixing this?
Child,
No, that's not going to happen.
But I don't think that I mean, if we were expecting to ever have a situation where like price gouging and Ticketmaster was going to be more fair and blah, 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 if we were ever going to expect to have a situation where the government would hold capitalism accountable for how it treats its customers, that would have been before January. So I don't think. I feel like we might be yelling into the void here for the next 4 years.
Definitely yelling to the void. And if anything, Ticketmaster might just get more expensive, honestly.
Right.
So,
it's going to get more expensive.
Can we just all unpack that Trump hasn't even been in office for a month?
And I feel like I've been through 4 years.
This man has signed more papers than I've signed in the last 10 years of my life. Like
he said, I've done more in the first 3 weeks of my presidency than any president to ever be president. And I was like, you're right.
And I was like, and that was not a lie. You have not put that fucking pen down.
And you have more lawsuits for signing. I think at this point he just likes signing his name. Yeah. Also, if y'all look at Trump's signature, it's just V's.
Oh,
I don't understand his signature whatsoever.
And I saw this video on TikTok too, where they just had it was like a compilation of him like signing things, and and it's just funny because you look at it and he's like, is he even like reading this shit? He's just going like, yeah, right. Yeah, yep.
I feel like there's definitely an SNL sketch in here somewhere where he don't know what he's signing. He just got his people be like, just sign this.
I'm going to share a screen so the audience can actually see it if they ever like pay attention to Trump's. Like, look at this. What does it say? Like, for real though, what does that say? Even him like smiling and holding it up, like, sir. Like that. Do y'all see? I see a P, a D. I don't know what any of this other stuff is. Like, this man is jokes. How do I get out of this?
He's actually not jokes. He's not jokes at all. He's actually terrible for American democracy. It's actually not funny.
Oh,
It's actually
He's
really
a-
fucking scary and
My
sad.
my new favorite pastime to watch, in case anyone cares. My new favorite thing to watch now is it's like if you just search it, I think it's like it might even be a hashtag now, but MAGA regrets. It's a whole
Mm.
bunch of just
Mhm.
MAGA people just crying on camera. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I wish I would have never voted for Trump. And I'm like, I just like get so much enjoyment watching them all feeling stupid for what they did. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's a great
Uh,
pastime.
Also, what I have also found hilarious is because now the community that people say don't stick together, which are black people, we're sticking together.
Yeah.
We have decided to let everybody else handle their own. Like I have seen a bunch of Latinos infighting with each other. Like black people, why aren't you helping us out? And they've been like, no, no, no. They told y'all, and y'all did the opposite. We got to do this on our own. White individuals being like, what happened? And then they argue. Like black folks are just like,
I mean, I think
you.
it's because part of it, I think, is because we've been like in this place where we understood the implication of this happening well before, and black people, you know, black people can mobilize when we need to, and I think that my opinion on it of why it's happening like this now is because we're looking at it and we're like, listen, we know that you won't move until it affects you. We
mm-hmm.
know that you will not be incentivized to mobilize to do anything until it affects you. And I think if we completely step ourselves back, I think they'll start to recognize that like they thought they were getting something that they wanted out of Donald Trump, and maybe a small part of them did get something that they wanted. But the amount of hellfire that's about to come on their lives because of the person that they voted for, that like it affects them too. These things affect them too. Like I've seen all this stuff on. I saw this video yesterday about these teachers that were in some rural school district that all voted for Donald Trump. Were pissed about him freezing federal funding, and he freezing federal funding, and like they were just like pissed about it. They're like, well, this is going to be terrible for us and the students, and we can't survive, and we can't. Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, well, who did you vote for? And she said, I voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for that. And I'm like, yes, bitch, yes, you did vote for that. You
You did.
absolutely voted for that. So we're just sitting back and like, let them do whatever he gonna do. They're gonna learn. And if they don't learn, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to know people who voted for Trump. What has he done so far that you wanted him to do besides get rid of DEI because
Oh,
you're racist?
DEI, mass deportations,
But here's the thing:
transgender
have you
people
been
aren't
seeing?
people anymore.
Have you been seeing? This has also been hysterical to me. People on TikTok who got deported are coming back.
Wait, what?
Yes. Like they are posting on like there was like under the coyote, like they are coming back. Also, he's finding out that he can't ship all these people back to their home countries because he don't have any agreements with these people to house these individuals. Like there is an issue with like it's not as easy as he just says send them on a plane and send them back. They have
But
to allow you in the airspace.
I don't think that it was ever about him actually doing it though. I think it's the fact that he started a process and people think he did it. Nobody's gonna, all they know right now is that Donald Trump is hell bent on getting illegal people out of the US and they see him doing it. So whether it's actually working or not, they're not gonna follow up with that. These people don't follow up. These
No.
people are like, he's getting them out of the states. And so it's just like it doesn't matter. Like I don't even think I firmly believe. We were talking about this the other day, Nickie. I was like, I firmly believe Donald Trump does not give a fuck about illegal immigrants at all. Donald Trump
First of
don't give
all,
a fuck
stop
about
calling them illegal
nothing.
immigrants. Call them undocumented immigrants.
You're right.
Humans
You're
can't
right.
be illegal.
Say that.
No, that's right. No, that's right. Uh,
Say that.
my
Yeah.
my apologies. Undocumented immigrants. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares about any of this stuff. These cultural things that he's talking about. I think he's just literally doing it because he knows that that's what his base wants, and his base is dumb enough to vote on just those specific issues, and then turn around and be directly negatively impacted by the other things he does that they weren't so aware of that he was doing. So, just like the price of groceries are just so low now, and like, which was I ain't never seen a whole campaign be
Are
this
they?
about the eggs. Who the fuck is buying all these eggs? Who the fuck is buying all these eggs? Like,
First of all, I've had a
after an
conversation about
egg,
eggs. Eggs are used not
okay,
just to cook; they're used to bake.
I understand that, and I like eggs too. I use eggs like a lot, but my whole point is that damn, y'all really made eggs like the main food group in America, and like it's just like, what about vegans?
Like, but also, did y'all hear
They
what
don't.
Robert F.
They don't
Kennedy
matter.
said? Did y'all hear what Robert F. Kennedy said in his
He said a lot of things. Which specifically?
how black people got different immune systems?
Yes. Yes. I said,
Okay,
well, you know. I said, well, you
but
know what? We
Robert F.
are built
Kennedy
different.
said it. We are built different. I can agree with them there.
Oh, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Somebody's phone's ringing.
It's mine, of course. It's my phone ringing. But yeah, this has been fun, guys. We are coming back. We're here next week. We're getting ready to kick off. What?
I was just gonna say how many times you're gonna say we're coming back. We're back.
Yeah, because we're wrapping up.
Oh, okay.
We're getting ready to kick off a series in March. Are you guys how are you guys feeling about it? We need to drop an Easter egg this time. What's an Easter egg? What we're doing in March? Who has one? A clue?
I did one last time, so
Mm.
I mean, I don't feel like I should say because I feel like we dropped a lot of Easter eggs today.
I'm gonna say this to you, Darrell. Boo! That's my Easter egg.
Okay.
That's the Easter egg we have for you guys.
I get
well,
it.
well,
It was cute. It was cute.
that was
this
good.
is thank you. This has been Hell I Don't Know. Again, I'm Nickie. We're with Darrell and Jordan, and we will see you guys next week. Bye. Wrap that up.